Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into the psychological thriller Gone Girl, directed by David Fincher and based on the best-selling novel by Gillian Flynn. This film is dark, twisty, and will make you question everything about love, trust, and marriage. Let's break down the entire movie scene by scene in simple words so you don't miss a single clue. Ready? Let's go. The movie starts on the morning of Nick Dunne's 5th wedding anniversary. He walks into a bar that he co-owns with his twin sister, Margot, and complains about his marriage. But when he returns home, his wife, Amy Dunne, is gone. There's a glass coffee table shattered, furniture flipped over, but no sign of Amy. The cops arrive. The lead detective, Rhonda Boney, and her partner, Gilpin, start investigating. They notice something strange. There's a bit of blood in the kitchen, and it looks like the scene was staged. And here's the big twist. Amy's disappearance quickly becomes a media circus. You see, Amy isn't just any woman, she's Amazing Amy, the inspiration for a popular children's book series written by her parents. So when she vanishes, it becomes national news. Nick starts to look suspicious. He's oddly calm, he smiles at a press conference, and worst of all, he doesn't seem sad enough. The media starts tearing him apart. Then, the police find Amy's diary. This is where the movie starts flipping back and forth between Nick's present-day story and Amy's past diary entries. Through the diary, we see how their relationship began. Romantic, charming, passionate. They met in New York, both were writers. Life was perfect. But then, things go downhill. The recession hits. They both lose their jobs. Nick's mother gets sick, so they move from New York to Nick's hometown in Missouri. Amy hates it there. She feels lost and ignored. In the diary, she writes about Nick becoming angry, distant, even abusive. It starts to look like Nick might have killed her. But hold on, this movie isn't that simple. At the halfway point, we get one of the biggest twists in modern film history. Amy's not dead. She's alive, hiding out, and she's been planning all of this for months. Yep, you heard that right. Amy faked her own disappearance and framed her husband for murder. Why? Because Nick cheated on her with one of his students, Andy. When Amy found out, she snapped. She decided to punish Nick by setting up the perfect crime. She spent months planning every detail. She wrote fake diary entries. She drained her blood and spilled it in the kitchen. She even planted clues leading the police to believe Nick was abusive, angry, and planning to kill her. Amy's plan was to kill herself eventually and let the world believe Nick murdered her. She wanted him to rot in jail, or worse, but then something goes wrong. She's robbed by a couple at the motel she's hiding in, and suddenly she's broke, alone, and desperate. So she turns to Desi Collins, her rich, obsessive ex-boyfriend. Desi has always wanted Amy back, and she knows it. He takes her in, gives her a safe house, but he's also controlling and creepy. Meanwhile, back in Missouri, Nick figures out the truth. He realizes Amy is setting him up. So what does he do? He fights back through the media. He gives an interview and apologizes to Amy on national TV. He even says he wants her back. And you know what? It works. Amy watches that interview and feels a spark. Yeah, she's psychotic, but she still wants Nick to be the man she created in her head. So Amy takes matters into her own hands. Again, she kills Desi in the most brutal way while seducing him and makes it look like he kidnapped and raped her. Then she returns home, covered in blood, collapsing into Nick's arms. She tells the world that she was taken and finally escaped. The media goes crazy. Nick is cleared. The cops are suspicious, especially Detective Boney, but without hard evidence, they can't do anything. Now, here comes the creepiest part. Nick wants to leave her. He tells her he knows the truth. He calls her a murderer, a liar, a monster. But Amy? She still wins. Because she's pregnant. She inseminated herself with Nick's frozen sperm that they had stored years ago. And Nick? He stays. Because he doesn't want his child raised by a psychopath without him. In the final scene, they do a joint interview as a happy couple. They smile for the cameras, but behind the smiles, it's all lies. It's manipulation. It's a toxic game that both of them are now trapped in. For life. So what's Gone Girl really about? It's not just a murder mystery. It's about how we wear masks in relationships. It's about how media shapes public opinion. And it's about how far some people will go to control the narrative. Nick isn't a hero, Amy isn't a victim. They're both broken, dangerous, and yet we can't look away. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more deep dives into mind-bang movies. And remember, sometimes the scariest villains wear the prettiest smiles. See you next time.